This episode is produced with support from DBT Wellcome Trust India Alliance.
Hello and welcome to the Nature India podcast. You've been listening to this series on the use of mobile phones in various facets of life. And thank you for the great feedback you've been giving us. We really love hearing from you. So please keep all the comments and critiques coming. It's always a pleasure to hear from you, from our audience, and improve ourselves based on your feedback. Now, imagine a situation when a worried farmer in a very remote village is clicking a picture of his infested crop and sending it to a specialist sitting somewhere in the world and getting their advice. Or then think of this farmer downloading a Met Department report or checking market prices of their produce, all of this just by using their cell phones. In this episode of the Nature India podcast series, Our Mobile World, we are going to talk about how slowly and steadily these handheld tiny devices are coming handy for our farmers and are completely changing the face of agriculture in India. I'm your host, Shubhra Priyadarshi. Most cell phones are equipped these days with cameras and image processing capabilities that can assist farmers in detecting diseases that infest their crops, or in managing these pests, or in estimating their yield. Farmers as well as agriculture researchers can capture images of plant samples and use specialized applications to analyze them, also providing very valuable feedback for agricultural research. Let's go ahead and talk to Rob Stray about this. Rob is the Chief Technology Officer and co founder of a smartphone app called Plantix, and he's speaking to us about how mobile phones are democratizing and decentralizing knowledge.
In the past, we had experts, and these experts came to the field visiting a farmer or didn't visit a farmer. And nowadays, all this knowledge is basically stored on a mobile phone, and farmers have like 24/7 access to the information that they really need. We facilitate like a farmer to farmer information sharing that not just like within a certain village, but like also like among greater distances. And I think by doing so, we enable proactive decision making because we have like real time data, and that enables farmer to do better resource management, disease prediction, planning, right? And I think it's really a revolution that is going on.
And farmers in India obviously understand different regional languages, so this data sharing needs to take that into account.
Disease identification is a major issue for farmers, not because they do not know exactly what is the disease, but they have a local name for it. And this local name comes in Hindi or in Marathi or in Telugu, and it's just describing the symptoms, let's say leaf curl or fruit rot. But if you enter fruit rot in Telugu into Google, you will end up pretty much nowhere, right? How cool would it be if you actually have like a deep neural network, you snap an image of an infected plant, we analyze this image and then play back the result in the local language to the farmer, explaining that this is, for instance, like a fall armyworm, and these would be the active ingredients that you can use. We analyzed more than 80 million images for more than 30 million farmers worldwide, and gave the farmers then an immediate feedback telling them, hey, these are the preventive measures that you can take next year to avoid this kind of disease. These would be like a very pest or fungi specific crop protection product that you can apply now. Initially, we like always recommended some very modern crop protection products that were not available in the market. And then we realized that like if you really want to change something, we also have to work together with the retailers. So we're having like also an application out there for agricultural retailers, mainly in like rural India, where they can like order product from us. And by doing so, we like cutting out middlemen. We are purchasing the stuff directly from the producers, selling it to the retailers, and then giving the recommendation to a farmer saying, hey, there is a retailer just 5 kilometers from now, and we know he has this very specific product against like a cotton pest that you are facing in this very moment.
Empowering farmers with real time evidence backed knowledge. that they can use at their fingertips must have a great spin off, not just for the economy, but also for the environment.
To give you an example in here, we had like a major outbreak of bacterial blight of rice in Andhra Pradesh 2 years ago. But bacterial blight of rice looks very similar to rice blast. It's a fungal disease. So these farmers went out and sprayed fungicides on a bacterial infestation that didn't have any effect. Right. And so like our information here came by saying that, see guys, this is a bacterial infestation. You do not need to spray any fungicides on it.
Philip Albrecht is an advisor at GIZ, the German International Development Cooperation Agency in India. He works closely with government agencies, research organizations, and universities, and now he's explaining to us how farmers are identifying crop pests using mobile phones.
An early warning system for cotton pests that we roll out in multiple states in India that uses an artificial intelligence model to analyze images taken with smartphones. So the application that you can find in the usual app stores detects cotton pests and then provides advice to smallholder cotton farmers on how to best deal with the infestation. So the dataset is openly available and also the whole code base is openly available. So it becomes easier for others to use and to adapt. So cotton farmers, of course, not only work in India, but across the world.
Let's go to Rajiv Ahel, Director for Natural Resource Management and Agroecology at GIZ. Rajiv tells us about another kind of farming, aquaculture, and how farmers are using mobile phones for sustainable aquaculture.
One of our projects called Safal is working very closely with small farmers, helping them improve their small homestead tanks to a good quality, and then help them put in natural feed and grow fish. And they keep a record of the investment they've done through what is called farmers' field books. And this is all connected to an app. So they're actually able to monitor the input side that they have put in, the expenditures they have done, so that then they're able to make a good case for loans in the future, for also being able to improve this. And this also helps them to monitor the amount of feed they're giving and look at also how many of these farmers are actually into sustainable practices. And those are the ones that can be better connected to the markets for superior rates. So a lot of innovations and trials going around on many of these aspects on environment and the ecological elements and the livelihoods that are dependent on them.
So, farming apps are changing the way India does agriculture. We spoke to Michael Gomez Selvaraj, a leading digital agriculturist at the Alliance of Biodiversity International and International Center of Tropical Agriculture, a bit more about this.
How? This is a good question. Right now, I would say this is the app world, right? Mobile phones are fundamentally transforming the agriculture landscape by democratizing access to the information and technology. Farmers can now access real time weather forecasts, disease reduction, and market trends at the touch of a button. That's the great thing happening right now. And also, this is not only empowers them to make a data driven decisions, but also introduce precision agriculture, even the most remote farming community where the smallholder farmers, the mobile app that utilize machine learning and deep learning and artificial intelligence can help farmers to optimize the irrigation schedules, identify the disease and pest through image recognition. That's what my research lab is leading, that even manage their farm inventory.
Agriculture has traditionally been a community activity in rural hinterlands. You sow together, you reap together, and you market via cooperatives. Now, mobile phones are helping smallholding farmers retain that community aspect of agriculture.
So community building, mobile phones can connect farmers with each others with experts. Right now several apps are connecting farmers with experts so that They can ask several questions where they can get a pesticide, where they can get a biological control, informing about their disease, asking the questions, right? So that's the great community building I'm seeing from the app development. And also financial services. Some apps even offer microloans and insurance, helping farmers navigate financial aspect more efficiently.
Wonderful. The technology is simplifying their businesses and also answers the basic questions of farmers, ranging from concerns over yellowing of groundnut leaves or white colored pests on coconut leaves, etc. In fact, Michael has focused particularly on banana farmers with his Tumaini app.
So banana is a major crop. Farmers need a lot of support to detect pest and disease. So our lab developed with the collaboration with African partners and Indian partners, AI-based app to easily detect banana diseases, pest and diseases. If you are a farmer living in a remote area, you are not access to the internet. So we developed the offline models. You can run our model to get the disease detection and also recommendation in 5 different languages like English, Spanish, French, Tamil, and Swahili is the African language. We are also developing the database for the government and scientists. We are mapping the GPS points all around the world so that this system can lead us an early warning system, right? So if you have a problem in one area, you can alert the farmers, okay, here you have a lot of disease. Fusarium wilt is one of the major diseases. So you can alert the farmers and inform the farmers ahead about this disease.
So, all these apps available now on mobile phones support not just the farmers but governments too, potentially, by recording real time crop status data with greater accuracy, greater accountability, and authenticity. To give you an example, every year India's state governments collect and report data on what farmers have sown in their fields, which requires making thousands of visits to record data on crops sown by individual farmers. Now, there's a mobile app called ePeak Pahani that allows farmers to self report crops sown across different stages in real time. It also allows the crop data to be officially recorded after due diligence. Innovative mobile applications perfectly complement and combine various solutions that can relieve farmers of laborious tasks. For them, the mobile phone is their plant doctor, their met expert, and financial guru, all rolled into one. We will hear more on various aspects of technological advancements in mobile phone devices that are helping other spheres of life in the upcoming episodes of this series, Our Mobile World. Stay tuned and give us a listen at your favorite podcast platform. This is Shubhra Priyadarshini signing off from the Nature India podcast.
This episode is produced with support from DBT Wellcome Trust India Alliance.